I need to get bronze darts, poison plus. The only way in the game to get this as an Iron Man is to make it yourself. There is no drop of poison to bronze darts at all, any type of poison. So that's fine. I will get my bronze darts quite easily. Poison plus is a little trickier. Now, for such an innocuous bottle of white something, it's not, most items, you look them up, most types of potions or resources, you figure, okay, you can make it. There's various different bosses or places to get it. Thievable, maybe. Whatever. No, there are only a few ways to get this potion. You can make it yourself, which requires 82 herb lore, or 78 maybe with a pie boost. Or you can get it as a drop, but it does not have a long list of monsters that drop it. There are literally 4 bosses in the game, and no regular mobs that drop this item. That's the Calphite Queen, the Chaos Elemental, Seracnus, and Scorpia. And I'm actually recording this intro in the far future. Scorpia no longer drops this, so it's down to 3. As an early game Iron Man, I decided not to go straight for 78 herb lore, thank you very much. I will try my luck at one of these bosses. KQ, I don't even remember if I tried it. It's possible that you can, if you've watched Limport, there are certainly ways it can be cheesed, but with basically nothing better than bronze darts and my fists, I don't think I can do enough DPS to get it down before it just despawns. So I think that's kind of a no-go. Seracnus, again, maybe like Rendy type people can find some sort of loophole way around it, but essentially Seracnus is a DPS check. It's not a hard boss, but if you don't have DPS, you're just going to get chip damage down to nothing. So that's a no-go as well. That leaves Scorpia and Chaos Elite. That is the main thing that I focus on in this video, but don't worry, there are going to be quite a lot of other little unlocks along the way. So let's get into it. I'm unlocking RuneScape gear, 1 tier at a time. Starting in tier 1, we have to get everything in the game. It has a stat bonus up to +1. I can't wear anything better until we move on to higher tiers. From forgotten items to grueling grinds, join me as I try to collect it all in Gearlocked. Okay, this is Edit and Collect All here with our first ever hard clue. We got white firelighters. Well, not really what I was hoping for, but it's a collection log. Another hard clue from Slayer. Okay, let's see what we got from the second one. Well, okay, wait, hold on a second. There's another collection log firelighters, but the big thing is the War Blessing. This is actually a tier 1 item. I just never expected to get it. If you can, check in the description the rules and regulations and terms and conditions and all that, I do not have to get clue uniques. However, I am not complaining. A +1 prayer bonus is a +1 prayer bonus, and it's a slot that I had empty. So that's great. Okay, Venika's given me a nice hefty task of cave crawlers. And there's bronze boots for the collection. Awesome. And another collection log from this next task is the Dark Totem Middle, which I will need to fight Skatizo. Bloodvelds are our next task. 52 Slayer. With this unlocks jellies. Continuing on with the Slayer grind, again, we are trying to get as many of these totems as we can, and that is our first completed totem. So that will be 1 KC eventually at Skatizo. Hopefully we will be able to kill it. But yeah, continuing on with 16 more Bloodvelds for the task. Wonder what Slayer level we'll have by the time we get these dark flippers. Okay, I think this is our first superior ever, and it's actually a chasm crawler. And let's see, can we get the Imbued Heart from our very first superior? Now, the Imbued Heart scales inversely with Slayer level. Oh, this is our very first Rev Ether. So I'm not doing Wildy Slayer. Don't get confused. This is not a Rev task, but this is a Ghost task. I think I can get the best GP and XP from killing Revs rather than just killing ghosts. And if you are thinking about the ghosts in the catacombs, I don't remember if they have a regular drop table or not, but they don't drop any catacomb uniques, which is kind of annoying. So it's worthless to kill those. Anyway, we'll just keep killing these imps and see if we get something good. But I might have a good use for Blighted Supplies later when I'm going for the Poison Plus, or this, whatever you call it, Super Duper Poison. It is not going to be too simple, so I might have a good use for this Blighted stuff later. Especially those Entangle Sacks, actually. But we'll see that when we get to it. Hey, there we go. Skeletal boots. That is an unlock. Nice. As you can see in the inventory, we got quite a few other items from the Wallasalkis, but we finally got our skeletal boots. As you can see from the inventory, I also have the rock shell boots. Oh, we actually were able to get the medium casket done for Addy Kiteshell T. Okay, there is the weapon poison plus. We can go ahead and poison our bronze darts. Bronze darts P+, that is an unlock. Now, it only poisons 5 at a time, which is why it's not so efficient. Undead Druids count for a zombie task. I just got a Mask of Renewal. I don't think I was up to the drop rate. I think it's 1 out of 1,000. That will be in the tier 2 unlocks. Cool. Cool, I'll save that for next tier. Another medium clue for nothing too great, kind of standard. A third medium clue for a Mithril Helm T, and I think that's a duplicate Addy Kiteshell T. That's just wild. After 7 medium clues, of course I'm getting the duplicates already. Same thing happened with beginner clues. Yep. 3 uniques, 2 of them are duplicates. Or, sorry, well, technically 4, 2 of which are duplicates. Let's go back to Shades of Morton again with just the magic logs for now, but we'll see if we get lucky at a few gold keys. That one's silver. Another silver key. Although we do have a nice stock of logs and fire remains in the bag. Ooh, nice. 48 prayer and 70 combat. That's 10 gold keys, as well as another 18 silver keys. So let's get rid of the silver keys first, see if we get anything interesting. We have the silver lock already, so it's just going to be a matter of alcohols. You can't really get the zealot pieces or anything from here. But we'll see. Kind of going back and forth between these two chests. Oh, there's some fine cloth. Nice. Another fine cloth. I should have had an extra inventory spot for the coins, but I'll just drop the Addy Spear. It's okay. Let's go to the next silver room for all these brown keys. And we got 1 red. Oh, there's another Amulet of the Damned. I'll take it. Addy Chain. More fine cloth. Blood runes. Nice. Another Addy Spear. I don't know why I didn't bring Alk runes. Seems kind of silly in hindsight. Some more coins. Got a nice 11k cash stack. Pretty standard loot, and I do not have any more brown keys. Oh, who's this? Miles? That is a pair of shears, my dude. And I will leave the uncut emerald on the ground for the next 5 hours or however long. I don't know if you guys know this, but random event items, if they never hit your inventory, they'll stay on the ground for like, I don't know if it's 6 hours or until the next game update. It's really nuts. Right, OCDing the inventory a little bit, and we will move along. This fire shade is eating me alive. We can go over to the gold chest now. Perfectly out of run, so that Urium shades can all attack me, but that's okay, we'll just pray. Yes, I know it looks ugly, but I labeled the ground so I know where to go for all the different colored keys. Now from magic logs, you're only going to ever get the red keys. That's a gold lock. Nice, we can upgrade our coffin straight off the bat. Awesome, I'll take that. I'll take it. Can we back it up with some zealot stuff so we don't have to get 95 fire making and 90 wood cutting? Come on. You know you want to give it to me. More Amulet of the Damned. Amulets of the Damned, I guess. Fine cloth. It's Addy gear. Blue stack of swamp paste. Okay, I guess we should pick that up perhaps. Each one's only 18 GP. It might come in useful, I don't know. For like fishing trawler. See, now it feels silly that I didn't pick up all the swamp paste before. Stocking up on some dig site pendants. And that's 55 crafting. We can now cut dragonstones and make a ring of wealth. As a statless ring, that is a pretty good thing to have. If you look carefully at this freeze frame of the bank, we actually missed quite a few unlocks. There's the silver sickle, the Fremenic boots, those are those green ones that you see there. Dark green. All the boots from Canifis, which include, let's see, we got gray, purple, red, teal, and yellow. So 5 boots from there, as well as the ham boots, leather boots, ornate boots. All those were pretty trivial, but also the spined boots I got along with the rockshell and skeletal that you saw before. I got the spined boots as well. So let's go into this spreadsheet here. You see we've got most of the first stuff unlocked already. Let's mark off silver sickle, Fremenic boots, ham boots, leather boots, ornate boots, and then we got all the Canifis ones. Gray, Purple, red. They match the gloves you can get from Calling Hands, by the way. Same colors. Teal, yellow, and spined from the Dagonauts. And we got bronze dart poisoned from, I think we got Anku's to drop weapon poison. So if we go all through tier 1, it looks like all we have left is bronze darts, poison plus, zealot's helm, zealot boots, and the explorer ring. So I actually don't have any Dragonstones yet, but what I do have is a crystal key and a games necklace to teleport to the greater Taverley area. So let's go ahead and do that so we can make ourselves a ring of wealth. I don't know if there's anything in particular that I'm looking to get from the RDT, from the rare drop table. It will be nice, honestly, just for the convenience of picking up gold, if nothing else. And that's our first Dragonstone and a medium task in Falador. All right, let's grab a chisel. Let's grab some Telly runes to Falador. Let's grab mold. Maybe some enchant runes. I also need a wizard mind bomb for the enchant spell. Just make sure I have all the runes I need. I do. Earth, water, and cosmic. Okay, let's go. So I have 64 magic. You need 67 for Dragonstone enchant. So the +3 wizard mind bomb should get me perfectly there. All the pieces are coming together. Again, I don't really need this, but considering my best in slot ring is going to be a +1 prayer boost, it's not bad to have a ring of wealth. I'm not really sacrificing very much. So here, a nice amount of loot from a trip of revs. Mostly looking for the entangle sacks and blighted food and restores for fighting Scorpia, because now that I have bronze darts poisoned and poison plus, I need the P++. Now getting super strong weapon poison, whatever it's technically called, is not very simple. It's either an 82 Herbler requirement, or it's dropped from a very few select bosses. Easiest of which for me to kill is going to probably be Scorpia. So that is the secret, and I've already killed it 8 times. That is what I am doing here with the Death's Fires and Airs. We're gonna Blood Blast Scorpia, and we have some Entangle runes or Entangle sacks. Literally no gear other than Ring of Dueling and the Cursed Goblin Staff. So we're not risking any gear. We've got a few sacks. We've got Fire Blast. Let's see if we can kill Scorpia with that. I mean, obviously we can't. We've done it 8 times, but let's see how bad it is. I also have the super anti-poisons because it will poison you like crazy if you don't have that. Unfortunately, I don't have the diary done, so I got to keep like teleporting with Obelisk until I get lucky to 50, and that Ent just took out like 10% of my health. What the hell? But yeah, this is gonna be one of the major grinds to finish tier 1. Is I'm gonna have to get a lucky weapon poison drop from Scorpia. I tried Chaos Ellie. It was not too easy. Obviously can't do Calphite Queen, and what else drops it? There's like one other boss that drops it. It's really not common. Maybe Seracnus? I'm not positive about that. It might be Seracnus, which sounds easy, but with this kind of gear, you just can't out DPS it. So let's run north of the Rogue's Castle. Not a very common way to go, and should be relatively safe from the Chaos Ellie. You have to pray range from the little guys in here, otherwise you get constant damage, and then you just run away from Scorpia so he doesn't melee you. And there's that instant poison. But as you can see, we're doing damage. I mean, it's very weak to magic, so it's not too crazy, but we're also not doing very well at staying out of melee range. Hopefully we can get better at that. Maybe I'll turn on the True Tile plugin to see where I'm really at. Yeah, because it hits hard when you're low defense and you're letting it get into melee aggro range, or melee range. Also, I don't have Entangle, I'm using Snare, so it's not ideal. Snare and even a little bit of Bind when I run out of snares. Run, boy, run! Alright, we got the snare off, and ran a little bit more. We got like maybe 3 hits in between. I'm not sure, because snare's pretty fast. Like pretty short. Yeah, that was 4 hits. Okay, so 4 hits, I'll take that. And then there's like a little delay while it's immune to the snare spell, so you gotta wait a sec and then snare it. But we can hit up to 16s. That was a max hit right there. So it's not a fast kill, but it's not terrible. Now here is the issue. is these little guys will basically heal Scorpia to full. So I have to figure out what's the best way to deal with them, but that's quite annoying. One way to deal with it is to kill those little guys. Another way is if you freeze them and like lure Scorpia away from them for long enough, they will actually just despawn. So we'll see how we deal with them best. So it's tough. I mean, if it wasn't for those healers, this would be a much more straightforward grind, because as you can see, the damage I'm doing is quite nice. It's pretty consistent. I'm able to freeze it. It's not the easiest thing in the world, but I can handle it, and it's going, quickly down from 200 health to 100 health. At half health is when it spawns the healers. I don't remember what it calls them. Scorpia's offspring, Scorpia's something. I have them tagged, so otherwise it's impossible to see them, for me at least, in this like gray on gray world. But yeah, so since we killed them before, or let them despawn or whatever, now we can just, even though they managed to heal Scorpia up to 200, but now I can kill Scorpia the rest of the way. They don't like respawn like Jad's healers or something. They just spawn once no matter what. So, alright, I have to treat Scorpia as if it had 300 HP instead of 200. That's fine, It's tedious, it's annoying, it's frustrating. I wish there was like a way to not let it heal up too much, but if that's what it's going to be, that's what it's going to be. It's not the end of the world. Alright, a few more good hits and we should have Scorpia down. 10 HP left. That's a big hit. That should be it. Yeah, nice. Okay, that's KC number 9 for a prayer pot. Not the right potion. That's okay. We'll keep going. Whoa, that's an Odium shard on a 13 KC. That's actually quite lucky. I believe it's 1 out of 256. So like you shouldn't really expect either one until 128 kills. That's about 10 times lucky, if that math checks out. I don't know. Whatever it is, not exactly the drop I'm going for, but cool. I'll take an Odium shard. Let's see if we can get it to safety. As you can see from the inventory, I ran out of the entangle sacks or bind sacks or whatever, and I'm using just straight up runes. If I run out, I could always go back to GOTR. It'll be fine. All right, we got back to safety, recharge stats, and let's store this Odium shard in our trophy tab, which is this one. Nope, this one. Nice, along with our Tome of Fire and Bloody Notes. A couple other interesting things in there. Let's re-gear, and we go again. Right, so that's 200 casts of Fire Blast, 100 casts of Bind or Snare, whatever, because those are 3 to 4, I believe. Like 3 natures for each, and then 4 of the elemental runes. Then we got a super anti-poison, a few prayer pots, and fill the rest of the inventory with food, which we need to restock on, it looks like. So we're resorting to like pineapple pizzas and what else? Swordfish? What else do we have? Yeah, we're basically out of blighted food. So, all right. We're still at 14 KC. I can't reach that. There's a couple more tasks. One is KC, another one I think is for not letting it touch you, not taking any damage. So hopefully we can get that sooner or later. I mean, that's just doing the kill properly, but happens a lot when it spawns the healers and I'm running away or whatever. But we'll see if we can get that done. Okay, I think after all I will go back to the Rev Cave to try to restock on some blighted items because I'm basically out. So before I go back to Scorpia, let's go up to the Rev Cave. Oh wow, 4 uncut dragon stones. That's pretty big from a goblin. Used to just getting like a bit of coins, the occasional piece of food or blighted sack. But that's a big drop. Okay, so we moved from imps up to goblins. They're still pretty easy to kill, double the HP. And next I can hit, I think, up to 8 with my bronze darts. It's pretty fast weapon, so it doesn't give it too much time to heal. Okay, so I didn't show crafting the last ring of wealth, but now I'll show crafting these ones, I guess. Let's head up to Edgeville and craft those dragonstones into rings. The one nice thing, actually, or not the one nice thing, but another nice thing about this ring is if I get an imbue scroll, I can get better chance at clue scrolls in the Wildy. Plus, it's the only dragonstone jewelry that I can charge, since it doesn't require any quests. It just means I have to run up to the Fountain of Rune. So I will probably do that because that's going to be my only 30 teleport, like level 30 wildy teleport, I believe. So let's see what we can do. We play Obelisk Roulette until we get to the level 50 Obelisk, which is right around the corner from the Fountain of Rune. That was one teleport. Let's see how many it takes to get there. Nice. I swear sometimes it's like first try, and sometimes I'm going like 3 times to every single spot I don't want to go to before I manage to get to the one I want. So that's pretty convenient. We can go ahead and charge these up. It will give me a nice tally to the Grand Exchange, as well as giving me access to a level 30 wildy teleport. So that could be good in a pinch. I don't know what I was thinking, bringing my cat out to the wildy. I think when I deposited everything, I forgot he was with me. Okay. There we go. 5 fully charged Ring of Wealths. Rings of Wealth? I guess Rings of Wealth would be the right way to say that. Kitten, this is not the time to be hungry. Let's get out of the wildy first, okay? Obviously, I am obliged to continue growing kittens due to my death rune habit with the killing Scorpia. Basically, every trip I use 200 death runes, and without the Artie diary, that means 2 full cats. So, without the ability to craft these runes myself, it really is like, what is it? Like 3 hours to raise a cat? So it's like 6 hours of cat raising for one trip to Scorpia of like 3 kills or whatever. But this is what I'm talking about. Look how many times I'm going through the obelisk just to get to where I want to go. Oh, there we go. Just gotta complain. Alright, the nice thing about killing the undead druids is we got a grubby key, which we can use to get some supplies here. Hopefully something good that we can use in killing Scorpia. Let's see, we got some prayer potions, so I guess we gotta take that. Crystal key, okay. Egg potatoes is whatever. 39 farming. We're basically out of prayer potions, so aside from farming revs, I also can just get them the traditional route, which means herblore. I have the herblore level to make prayer potions. The issue is I don't have enough Renar weeds. To get Renar weeds, I have to plant Renar seeds. To get Renar seeds, it's going to be a bit of thieving master farmers, but also farming contracts, for which I need at least 45 farming. So that is why I'm going on a tree run here. And that's level 39 farming. Once we get stocked back up in prayer pots, we can go back to Scorpia and continue that, and Shades of Morton, the 2 main grinds we've got left, getting the Bronze Darts P++ and the Zealot outfit. So I'm actually not gonna remove this tree here because I want to get branches from it. So I'm gonna get some willow branches. We need some for the Falador diary as well as a quest. 40 farming as we check this banana tree. But now we're back to pickpocketing for more seeds, and we should be getting a level any minute soon if we don't die. So a nice inventory full of seeds. I got 1 Renar seed, so I'll take that. There we go, 60 thieving. It's a big boy level. Decided to make some teleport tabs for my farming routes, for my tree runs. Since I don't have fairy rings, there aren't too many great ways to get to the remote farming guild. So I am going to make some tabs to the battlefront. Go make a few to Draenor as well for the Draenor patch. That's not a bad idea, but primarily let's make for the battlefront so we can get to the farming guild for contracts. Limport should be easy enough. I've got Limport seeds. Okay, Limports grew. That is our first seed pack that we can get. Okay, I mean, Snapegrass seeds are pretty good. The rest is whatever. It's my very first Hespori seed. That'll be great. I can go plant that. Okay, any moment now. I'm very close to farming level. I didn't quite get it there. Maybe when I get the Limports. Let's see. So as you can see, we're doing some Renar runs now that we got a few seeds. Well, let's pick these Limports and nice 50 farming. Aventa. Let's go ahead and check this curry tree. If we can stop being attacked by the spider, turn off auto retaliate. That's 53 farming. So yeah, as you can see, I'm not recording every single farming level, but there's 56 farming for Quorum, 57 farming. We can now start growing papayas. That's going to really boost the farming XP. Once we get 65 and we're allowed into the other part of the guild, there'll be much faster Renar seeds in the contracts. That's 55 Slayer for Turoths, another task I cannot do. Let's check this pineapple plant for another farming level. Sorry, it's just been back-to-back-to-back farming levels, but not much else to show. 58 farming, white lilies. Of course, that's odd. I guess on a main, white lily seeds are tradable, but on an iron, the only way to get that is at level 65 from a Spory. Doing a little bit of tithe farm, since we're on the home stretch to 65 farming. That deposit gets us 60 farming. Awesome, yew trees. So let's go ahead and continue planting and harvesting with the Balagano fruit for the Master of Tides. Let's deposit these 100. This has got to give us a level, but which level is it? Wow, level plus 50% of the next for 61 farming. Okay, one more level, and that's snape grass. Huge. Okay, 2 more fruits should give us the 100 we need, and I think that's going to be it. Let's see. Deposit these. Yeah, 65 farming. That's really a really nice level on an iron, on any iron. 65 farming. Lets us get medium contracts. Lets us access the Spory and herb patch over here in the farming guild. So let's go ahead and explore. We can now stretch our legs all the way to the west and all the way to the east. We've got to do some dwellberries, so let's go ahead and check that bush and get ourselves our first medium contract. No need to boost. I got 65 farming straight up. So let's go ahead and do it. I would like a medium contract, please. Yew tree. Okay. Well, it'll take a while, but I believe I have some yew seeds somewhere. Let's go ahead and see. Yep, got 6 yew seeds, so gotta just make them into saplings. I do not have enough spines to protect them, though. Okay, with the white berries here, that's another contract done. And 67 farming for Cadentine, really boosting the farming level. Only Herblore can go that fast. We could just get Herblore up to 82 for the weapon poison. I'm going to call the episode there, but in this episode we got a lot of unlocks. Many of them might have been a little trivial, but we are getting very close to the end of tier 1. If you take a look over here, the basically max DPS or best in slots we have. This is the equipment. We're missing the salad pieces and explorer's ring, but we have the others. And besides that, we're also missing the Bronze Star Poison Plus Plus. But hopefully we'll get lucky at Scorpia next episode. I do have to address the elephant in the room that I spent a lot of last episode dreading, the dark flippers. One night, I just had this epiphany, kind of like bolted upright as I was falling asleep and said, I don't have to kill Skatizo. I don't need dark claws because I cannot get the dark flippers. Now you might already have realized my mistake, but maybe not. You can't just use them on each other. The flippers and the dark claw to make dark flippers. You need to go to Patchy and he sews them for you. Now that's fine, okay. Where's Patchy? Most of the harvest. What do you need to do to get to Most of the harvest? Cabin fever, no problem. Okay, a little questing, right? Check the quest line. All the prerequisites. One of them is big chompy bird hunting, which requires you to wield an ogre bow. So I will not be able to do that for quite a while. It's up tier 38 or something. So that I can happily backlog the dark flippers. I don't have to worry about Skatizo for quite a while. Now that's going to wrap up for this episode, so thank you so much for watching. Feel free to leave any comments, any questions that you have, any suggestions, or where you think this is going to go next. If you think, what KC you think I'm going to get. The Weapon Poison Plus Plus, it's 1 out of 32 from Scorpia. But I will see you again next time. Thanks for watching.